Yo,
Oh my
Ferd, you
god.
you don't have to you don't have to worry about this. I could send you the whole fucking recording, dude, and you can just upload it. So we're kind of running out of time here, so it's like 20 more minutes till next debate. So like, if we could maybe just Ferd, yo, buddy, Ferd, Ferd,
Third.
Ferd, could you please
Yeah,
respond?
I got it. Give me like fucking 20.
Yeah, but I'm recording this now. I can just send it to you. How about that as an alternative? Like everyone here is waiting on you, Ferd. Like it's
Third, do you
kind of.
want to transfer team captainship to me so I can like talk about whatever you want me to talk about? Because I can I have specific topics in mind.
I think.
Well, if I may, it seems like the first topic up for discussion is economics, and I think Shittiest wants Ashton to talk about that. So, Ferd, while you're setting up your push to talk, why don't you have Angeline's talk about economics with that? That just seems to make the most sense.
Yeah, it's okay.
Alright, so Angelines, I have a question. Have you read Ferds Manifesto?
No, sir.
Oh,
Um,
well,
Not
then
yet.
you may be a little bit lost because my opening statements on economics is actually just centered around Ferds Manifesto, which is
Ashton,
kind of what I wanted. What's good?
Well,
Just keep in mind, she can have any opinions that she wants outside of Ferd's manifesto.
Well,
and-
yeah, that's why I was gonna go against Ferd on this.
So yeah, like you can have any opinion outside of Ferd, by the way.
yeah, I know.
Alright, so I guess we're... Alright, so let me ask you a question.
Ask
I'm
me
just gonna
whatever you
say
want.
I'm just gonna say a statement, and you're gonna tell me if you agree with it or not.
Okay. It's
Alright,
not
so
really asking me a question, is it?
Well, it's
All
true
right,
or false,
ask,
essentially.
say whatever you want. Yeah.
No matter the type of economy, all economies seek to make people value markets and money as opposed to humans and the environment.
No matter the type of economy, it'll always seek to value the market instead of humans. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
No.
Do you have that view?
No, I don't. I believe
Alright.
that nationalized economy actually does the opposite. I think that nationalizing the economy kind of puts the people of that country first because you're not, constantly exporting labor and you're not you know, depending on imports and exports for the survival of your economy. Your the economy circulates in the country itself, and it's not like for example, the United States is fucked right now because of our dependence on China, and oh, sorry about that. Oh Jesus. What was I saying?
The United States being fucked by China right now because we probably rely on them for imports.
Yeah, see, and you see countries like Syria. I mean, I don't care what your opinions are on Assad, but you see countries like Syria and Iran who have had to suffer so many economic sanctions and blockades due to the United States, due to Western imperialism and stuff like that. And they're still doing really good, because they've nationalized not only their economy, but the banking system, oil, everything that makes up the economy has been nationalized. And that's why Saddam Hussein was killed, because he wanted to get rid of the petrodollar. So that's why he was assassinated by the US. So we can, nationalizing the economy is not in the interest of oligarchs, aka, the people that make up the United States government or the people that control it. But it is it does put the people first, and that's not what the United States government wants. If that makes any sense.
Alright, so number one, what I'm hearing is you're for a nationalized or centrally planned economy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hell yeah, now we can get into this. Alright.
I'm kind of retarded when I speak. I'm sorry, but I promise I'm
No
I can
one's
have
no
a
one's
debate.
judging you here. No one's gonna be a dick like that. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be charitable and don't go for the easy Venezuela. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, Venezuela is a different story because it's the same thing. with the United States. And it's hard to argue with Americans on this subject because everything that you see on the news is like literally a fucking lie. So, and that's not the case with like other news stations, like the European ones are a little more honest. So the whole thing that happened with Soleimani and Iran, like that was covered up completely. So like most things that, like the whole Venezuela thing too, there's a lot of misinformation being circulated in the, American media outlets. So it's really hard for a lot of people don't know the facts when it comes to Venezuela, and that's why like I don't really like talking about Venezuela because like people don't know what actually happened over there.
Well, we can get into that later. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and how do you feel about the Soviet Union and China?
I love Stalin, but not because I mean, I like Lenin a lot because he did liberate, and Russians love Lenin too. Because he did liberate the people from the Tsar. I like Stalin because even though he did technically kill a lot of people, he also it's like the same reason why I like Hitler. He just did a lot for Germany, just like Stalin did a lot for Russia. The railways, the subway. He kind of like helped modernize Russia a lot.
So rapid industrialization.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing, like in the grand scheme of things, I call myself a tribalist because I know that people aren't meant to live this way. People aren't meant to have cars or cell phones and stuff like that. But I'm talking like from the standpoint of a normal person. Like I don't know. Like a normal person would say that what Stalin did in terms of industrializing and helping Russia develop was a good thing. Like a lot of people would agree that that's a good thing. But
we're gonna have to disagree there.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm saying a lot of people would say that it's a good thing. But honestly, the feudalism that was taking place pre-USSR wasn't a good thing either, So like I feel like what Lenin and Stalin had in mind was 100% better than what was going on before the October Revolution.
Lenin, towards the end of his life, actually tried to disavow Stalin and stop him from gaining leadership. But after Lenin died, then there was just this whole power vacuum, and Trotsky
Yeah, I
lost
know.
to Stalin.
I live close to Trotsky's house in Mexico City. He used to live in, you know who Frida Kahlo is?
I don't believe so.
Frida Kahlo was a Mexican communist artist, very famous, the unibrow lady. She's half indigenous and half Polish, and she had an affair with Leon Trotsky. Yeah, she's a cool lady. And she had pictures of Stalin, Lenin, and Marx on her bed frame. You can see that because her house got turned into a museum. But yeah, I mean, I don't love the USSR because you know what? It wasn't even communist at all. Like, it was state capitalist. And I'm not a capitalist.
Communist, by definition, is just like, it's either you're a true communist or you're not. There's no way you can attempt at it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, everybody likes to, shit on communism. And that's fine with me. I'm not a communist. But at the same time, you cannot tell me that communism has been tried because it hasn't been tried.
Well, yeah, because it's just circular logic. Its definition is circular and it's meant to be. So any attempt at communism that actually isn't communism would not be considered communist.
If I could interject, I mean, like the People's Republic of China or PPC, like they're it's a very large government and they control quite a bit of the market. And a bit of the market is free market, but however, there's still an insane amount of pollution coming out of China, as well as just in general, it's the economy is designed to try and make the party look popular, not to necessarily protect the environment in and of itself.
Oh no, I don't like the People's Republic of China. I mean, Mao was kind of based because of Jucheism, and I agree with the whole landlord thing that he did. Killing landlords,
okay, so what are you talking about right now? Because it's like we all just like talking about economic system and stuff, and that's part of what
No.
tribalism is about. But we like being against economics and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For-
don't even like,
actual tribalism though.
dude, like I don't even like the idea of currency. Like I believe in a
Well,
in
you
a
don't
system
need
of trade.
currency for an economic system.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Like that's what I'm saying. I believe in a system of trade and bartering. I don't believe in currency. That's another big thing that I think we should probably discuss. You know, the
Wait.
pros and cons of bartering versus an actual currency. Hello?
So
So what?
bartering, a system of exchange, without money. So it's just trading items.
Yeah, because I mean, when you think about it, it's a lot harder for people to like, because capitalism and currency in general gives people the opportunity to monopolize, and that's like the one
Wait,
thing that
wait,
I
wait.
actually. What?
I'm gonna have to grill you here. Alright,
Grill me?
so can you define capitalism real quick for me?
Well, capitalism, I think, in theory, is supposed to be a meritocratic economic system, where people. I mean, I see it as a corporatist ideology, but I know it's not supposed to be. But that's like what it inevitably turns into in my eyes.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the same argument level zero capitalists would use against communists.
I'm not a communist.
Well, yeah, but then you
But
were saying you were like defending the USSR as like, oh, they were just state capitalists. They weren't real communists.
You were
because they weren't.
You were
But you were-
championing.
Wait, no, Fed, calm down.
Ashton, hold on. Ashton, could you hold on? You were championing centralized economies. That's why he's criticizing it, though.
Okay, no. All right, like if I'm talking about my like tribalist point of view, then obviously you can't really have a centralized economy because there's no state. There's no solid state. I mean, maybe there's a state in a scale down manner, but there's no like, why there's no centralized economy because there's no money. I don't believe in money.
But we
this is
already went over that you don't need money in an economy. Money is not necessary for an economic
okay. Then what do you
system.
define as a centralized economy?
A centralized economy is just someone, like a group of fucking economists, just planning out your economy. It has nothing to do with currency. Like, you would decide where to allocate resources based off of someone. And then
Okay,
market
but-
economies is just deciding where to allocate resources based off supply and demand.
Yeah, I know. But then how do you apply that to tribalism? Like, it wouldn't be a group of people deciding where to allocate resources because everybody's deciding where to allocate their own resources. Like, people are, individually like trading their items and shit. So,
Yeah, sounds like a market to me.
a market. No, there's no supply and demand in like.
Well, market's not
general
always
sense.
supply and demand.
Well, you just said that that's what a market is.
I said a market economic system usually tends to allocate resources based off supply and demand.
Exactly, but
That doesn't mean all
supply and
markets
demand-
are that way.
The supply and demand aspect in a tribal society would be largely individual because people
And
are
that's
allocating their own resources the way that they see fit. Do you agree? If they're trading,
okay. What's the difference between this and the free market?
between what in the free market?
What your ideal economy and the
I don't
free
believe
market.
that I don't believe that the free market ever existed. To be fair with you, because I
Okay.
don't think, as I said before, capitalism always inevitably turns into corporatism, and
Well, you kind
that's
of
not
need
free
a
market to me.
state to develop into corporatism, but alright. So
Okay, so
can you
you
just
think
like
that-
can you do me a favor and just line out the difference between what you want and what like anarcho-capitalist would want?
Are you an anarcho-capitalist?
No, but I can damn well take that position in this debate quite easily.
Okay, well, first of all, I can't say retarded. Never mind. The thing with
Actually, you can say retarded. That is a word you
go
can
ahead.
use.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, well, first of all, anarcho-capitalism is fucking retarded because,
Why is that?
because it's the same thing, like, it still devolves into corporatism because
How?
if there's no how.
Yeah,
just
line it up for me.
If I could,
okay, with anarcho-capitalism, there's still currency, right?
if I could just quickly interject here, he's close to being an anarcho-capitalist. He's not an anarcho-capitalist. He's just a very capitalist person.
Okay, well,
So
I'm not.
Yeah. So like, tell me how a ANCAP society would end up devolving into corporatism without a government.
Because there's no government. Because there's no regulation, so people can just and everything is privatized, right? Nothing is public. So when everything is privatized, there's no regulation, and monopolies can still form. Monopolies can still easily form. What do you mean no?
How?
What is a monopoly? What does a monopoly require?
Monopoly. What is a monopoly? So supply and no demand. I guess I don't know.
No. Okay.
Let me think about
a monopoly is just.
Let me think. What does a monopoly require? That's a tough question. A monopoly requires for there to be smaller businesses to monopolize.
Wrong.
No.
It requires so like wolves can have a monopoly on violence on a specific area. Somebody can have a monopoly on the economy through threats.
Yeah, you can monopolize anything. Coffee.
A monopoly means that there's like no other competitors. You're the only competitor.
In order to create a monopoly, which could lead to a state, is really just collective cooperation, and particularly generally strategically used to hold control.
Yeah, and you guys think that monopolies can't be formed in an anarcho-capitalist society? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh God, why can't
actually no?
Wait,
Maple,
let
position.
me.
I'm arguing monopolies can emerge anywhere, but let Ashton go.
But how does a monopoly? That's why I'm pro bartering, because it literally disables monopolies from forming, or at least that's what I think. If somebody wants to prove me wrong, then.
So what usually causes a monopoly? So monopoly is just like this entity that has a complete control, like no other competitors. If you want something, you have to get it from them. You could see this with I forget the name, but the act of we can only buy from a certain tea company back when we were getting taxed by Great Britain.
Yeah.
That would be a monopoly. So without a state, you cannot delegate special powers to one company to eliminate competition in that sector of the market.
Well, yeah, nobody has the authority to delegate those powers. That's the thing. These companies are just going to take that initiative themselves.
Just like how tribes could take initiative themselves.
Wait, Maple. How can a corporation completely eliminate the competition in their market without things like patents or intellectual property?
Things like the state?
Without things like the state or patents. How would they be able to completely make sure that there's no competition?
Well, I mean, I think you already know the answer to that, because that's what everybody makes fun of fucking anarcho-capitalism for. Just fucking gun down your competition. Because it's not like
gun down your competition?
Because it's not like there's a law preventing
you from doing societal pressure?
Because it's not like there's a fucking government to tell you not to do that. So yeah, you could literally just
usually it's a social... No, wait, Fed, calm down.
Hey, actually, you know what, Ashton? Maybe give Ferd a chance to speak real quick.
Alright.
Yeah, so basically it's just been talking about economics and stuff. So I was kind of distracted because a bunch of people on Snapchat and Discord was asking for but you want to talk about could you give me a quick brief of it all?
I'm sorry.
The benefits and what's the opposite of a benefit? Disadvantages and advantages of bartering, and the difference between anarcho-capitalism and regular state capitalism.
What? It's not even that. I'm trying to point out that there's really no difference between what you want and what like ANCAPs want.
Well, there is, because I don't believe in capitalism.
But that's
Well, yeah, we don't
my.
But you
Yeah,
believe?
but that's just
Hold on.
that's just an
Excuse me.
ideological difference.
Excuse me.
I think
Ashton.
capitalism encourages like consumerism, and I don't believe in consumerism.
Consumerism is bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I believe.
Really quick here, Ashton. You go, then I go.
Oh, what's good? All right. So, this is starting to seem like you're just trying to make a market without trying to call it a market. But, all right. So, do you want to?
I would like to quickly. May I interject, Ashton? Or
Sure.
so my point that I'm trying to make is, especially when it comes to monopolies and economies, is all it takes for a monopoly is cooperation, especially to be used strategically by a collective. This could be used through blackmail. This could be used through violence. You could own gangs, and you could technically blackmail other people to do what you want them to do. My point is, you still have the problem of monopolies with or without governments. Like a wolf can have a monopoly on violence in a specific area.
This is like anarcho-communism, basically. Like, we're gonna get rid of anybody who dares to try to make any kind of oppressive corporation and such.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
Wait, this is like really simple. Fred, how would you remove them?
by either telling them to stop or go kick their asses or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's anarchy.
What if they fight back?
But I'm just saying, if they don't agree with our terms, though, and they're doing it at the sake of money and economics and greedy bullshit and stuff over our own planet and Earth and the environment.
All right, I'm gonna. Wait. I don't need like this whole speech that you have on index cards, real quick. I just really want to pin some points. All right, so let's say somebody just completely rejects you, trying to tell them to stop. They like make a little business selling lemonade. You tell them to stop, and then they don't stop. How would you force them out?
I don't see much wrong with making a lemonade stand, though. But
All right, then we can literally we can change the corporation to something like Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon is bad.
We are.
Okay, how would you stop that from happening?
Cut Jeff Bezos
By
off.
destroying their business.
What was that, Fed? Repeat.
By destroying their business. Like, of course, it's simple stuff, though. Like, if they do something that's against our principles of society, just like we have a society right now, though, where you can't do this and this, then we're gonna have to do the same thing as well, though. If they're in our territory and they are polluting the earth or like exploiting people for money and stuff.
You understand how we deal with this problem, correct?
Revolution.
A government. We have government regulations on corporations. That's how we deal with it.
Yeah, but that's clearly not enough, though. Like,
Okay,
it's not enough.
Wait! Don't dogpile me, Angelines.
Don't what?
Don't dogpile me.
Well, guys, we hit the 30-minute cap, and I think everyone agreed that you wanted to take a break so we could start Teddy's debate. But if you guys want to keep going, you can, and then we'll just have Teddy's debate in another room. It's totally your guys' call. Do you want to take a break?
Sure.
Teddy, real quick here, is the person you're gonna debate, is the person here yet?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, so yeah, we could have a debate and then take a break. Yo, Ferd, do you have any other friends that might pop on later today?
Yeah, maybe, but I haven't talked to them. I got maybe 3 other people that said they wanted to 3 other people that want to join as well. Something about around that number. Fuck, I can't speak English right now, but yeah, there was two other guys I know and stuff. They were nice and chill, and they wanted to join as well.
Before we go, I think maybe it might be fair that if maybe Ashton could ask for just some of the questions on his Ferd, would you mind if you answer 1 or 2 questions from your manifesto or something?
I don't know your guys' name yet, though. So who's on the pro Siftard side?
Pro Siftard. Hell yeah.
What the fuck? You guys are the pro retard side. Means. Fuck you. Okay, so away from name calling, yo, fucking Yo, Ashton, why don't you at least like I don't know,
Alright.
I don't know, why doesn't everyone have like a final thought? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
How about we all like give our final thoughts? I guess I don't know.
Okay, well, here are my final thoughts. The main reason why I like would prefer an not even anarcho-communist, but just a regular tribal society without the capitalism is because I don't believe in consumerism, and I think capitalism inherently encourages consumerism, and that's like literally it. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's exactly my own position as well, though.
Yeah,
So,
it's like that easy. That's it for me.
yeah, it's not specifically anarcho-communism or communism I advocate for. I just advocate. I just don't. I'm just anti-consumerism and basically.
Same.
So a big part of my a big part of what I've been trying to make here is a lot of these same problems that you might persist in a tribalist society. I'd argue it always exists, such as monopolies. There'll always be those who try to make it, and there will be those who succeed. So, yeah. But anyways, that was a big point that I was trying to
We're
make.
gonna get rid of them, though.
Okay, Ferd, just literally zip the lip. Ashton, go.
I can spend like the next hour talking about ANCAP theory, but so first of all, there seems to just be like this conflation of consumerism and capitalism. That's like level 0, like lefty bullshit. Not to say, but
Wait, what?
that's
Did you just call us leftist?
lefty.
We are quite right-winged actually, both me
You're
and
right wing. Wait, yet you're against capitalism.
Wait, come on.
Wait,
Closing
I don't know
statements.
who
Closing
accused me.
statements. Not back into the debate.
I don't know who
we're
accused
against
me of believing
globalism.
lefty bullshit. I don't know if you heard me correctly, but I said I like Hitler. Fuck lefty bullshit, dude. I
Do you
mean,
think Hitler was economically right wing?
That goes besides the point, though.
Well,
I
you
mean,
guys are saying that you're right wing, yet you're like anti-capitalist.
Ashton, I think we know where they stand.
Okay, we'll get started with Lollipop and Teddy's debate.
Bird, you've been muted because you're kind of interjecting on final thoughts. Final thoughts means everyone just gives their last thoughts of the debate.
Okay, Lollipop and Teddy, you guys there?